So what is algorithm? Algorithm is a set of ordered steps for solving a problem. It can be any problem of our daily life. As it can be any problem, we can solve our computer programming problems also using this algorithm. We can write steps which computer should follow to solve a particular problem. Suppose we have got a problem to print a message on a screen. Then for that, this is first algorithm, step 1 and last step. First step and last step should be always start and stop. In between, whatever steps you want, you can go through, or you can write for solving your problem. Here we have got a problem to solve or print a message on a screen. So what we are doing, we are saying print welcome to AITAU Anand, or we can give any message within this double quotes. So this was the first algorithm to print a message on a screen. Second problem which we want that computer should solve for us is addition of two numbers. Again, first step should be start, last step should be stop. We need two numbers, or the person who is running this program. We know that there are so many programs in mobile as well as in our computer. In mobile, these programs are known as apps or services, and in computer we have got this program to add two numbers. Or what is our problem? To add two numbers, we want that computer should add two numbers. So first step should be start. Second step should be accept two values from the person who is running this program. Then add these two numbers and store it in C. Add these two numbers A and B and store result of this addition in C. At last we will write C and we will say stop. This is step 5. Consider this as step 5. So these are two algorithms. We can write algorithm for our any kind of problem or solving any kind of problem. We can easily list out steps and we can follow those steps for solving it or for getting result. Now next topic is flowchart. We have seen algorithm which is in form of steps. So we need to read these steps. In order to understand this algorithm, we need to understand each and every step, read this step and understand each and every step. Here we have got only 5 steps. So it is easy to understand, easy to memorize it. But if algorithm has got 1000 steps or 100 steps, then we will not be able to understand it easily. We need something which is more easy to understand. And whenever we talk about this, something which is more easy to understand is nothing but a figure. If it is in form of figure, we can understand it very easily. In our childhood days also, when we used to learn ABCD or Kakko Barakdi, we had books with us in which along with alphabets we had some pictures which made us easy to summarize or memorize. And after that, when we had grown up in 5th or in our higher standards, we know that we had some data analysis kind of chapters and frequency mapping was there, data distribution or data handling kind of chapters were there, which had nothing but representation of data in form of graphs. If we have got data of 100 years of a particular process, then it will be very tough for us to understand what those figures are saying. We need to go through all those 100 years data, then we'll be able to make out what it is actually. Now, if those figures are represented or summarized in form of a graph, then we can easily make out what those figures are actually mean to say. When there was high or low in our process, output of that process was high or low, we can easily make out. Which was the average duration, or what is the average duration, we can also easily make out from that. by drawing a line in between. So if steps or data is represented in form of a graph or in form of picture, we can easily understand it. And flowchart is nothing but a visual representation of these steps. It is nothing but picturization of these steps. But while drawing pictures, we need to follow certain symbols. And those symbols are shown in this symbols of flowchart. There are so many symbols, but we'll use only 5 or 4 from it. First, its start symbol. It is known as start and stop has got the same kind of symbol. It is known as terminator. These are known as data input and data output. Again, same. It has got the same kind of symbol, and this is a symbol for processing. If there is some kind of process being taking place, then this is known as, or it should be represented in form of rectangle. If a process is to be represented, then it should be in form of a rectangle. So I go back to my flowchart. This is how we draw flowchart. You can draw flowchart for any kind of problem of your daily life. As we can write steps for solving any kind of problem of our daily life, same way we can draw flowchart for it. And it is better to write first of all steps and then draw flowchart to make ourselves clear. Flowchart we can draw it very easily, but to write step is a tough task. So we should always go for algorithm first of all, and then we should draw flowchart in initial stage. When we are learning programming, at that time we should first of all write algorithm for each and every program, and then we should draw flowchart for it, which will make our flowchart concept also clear, because drawing flowchart is very easy compared to writing algorithms. If you miss out one step, then it is going to give you a wrong result, or it will not give result at all. So writing an algorithm is the best practice to learn programming, and we should also make sure that we are using pencil for it. If we are not using pencil, then we need to cancel it again and again, and we need to waste our pages, or we'll forget one step each and every time when we write same algorithm. So it is better to use pencil instead of pen. For flowchart also same thing, and for writing programs also initially you should use pencil only. So these are few symbols. This is used for process, this is used as a terminator, this is used for decision. We'll see later how it is used. Then this we have seen data input output, and we have seen this flow line, which indicates the direction of flow of material or data and or information. So these are few symbols which we have gone through, or which we will use in our flowchart. And you are supposed to write algorithm and flowchart for almost all programs up till number 20. Up to 20 you are supposed to write algorithm and flowchart for almost all programs, and you know where they are. It is available in this. I'll go to my home. You are supposed to create a login in this, and then in programming in C you can find lecture notes which I am showing you right now, and you can also get practical manual where there are around 80 programs, 80 to 85 programs listed in it, and you are supposed to write your programs from this, or you are supposed to create a journal or a file for this practical manual. Now next topic is need of computer languages. Why we need computer languages? If we write our programs in human language, then it will be very difficult for computer to understand, and we will also face problem in memorizing words which we don't know. We also know that our languages has got a very large vocabulary. In English also, every now and then they are adding so many words. Every year we find that in Oxford so many words has been added to the corpus. And in Gujarati also we know that there are so many words, and these words change as we move from one village to another village or from one region to another region. Same thing will be called something else in another region. So it is very hard to memorize it, or it is very tough task to write, use human languages for writing computer programs. So people thought that to write a computer program we should always use some fixed set of words which has got a specific meaning, and via which we can give some instructions to the computer. So from this human languages they selected English language, and from this English language they selected few words. Before I explain why these few words were selected, I would like to know that how computer works. You have already learned computer, isn't it? You already learned computer. You know how computer works. I would like to know how it actually works. Can you explain in brief that it requires so and so kind of things? I am opening this session for interaction. I want you people to talk with me. Without interaction, our C classes will be very boring, because you people know some sort of programming which is not enough. In Gujarati we say that adho ghado chhalkai gano. If you don't have complete knowledge, then it is a problem. If you don't have at all any kind of knowledge about programming, then it is fine. I can teach you from starting, but you people know so many things, so it is going to create problem for me and you people also. Basically it is going to create problem for you only, but to avoid this I want that you people should interact. Now I need that you people should turn on your mic and answer me how computer actually works. See, people are joining at 9:34. Very good. Yes, Sunil. Sunil, you raised your hand.
Sir, may I?
I am talking to Sunil. Sunil क्या है उधर? Sunil ते हाथ ऊंचो करो ने. There is one facility raise hand at bottom. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
તો સુનિલ તે હાથ ઊંચો કર્યો તો કે કેવું છે ભાઈ? સર ભૂલથી થઈ ગયો તો. ઓકે. યસ જય, યુ કેન
No,
પ્રોસીડ.
sir.
Yes sir. Jay, yes sir, you can proceed. You can tell how computer works.
Yes, sir. A computer receives data through input, then after processing the data, it gives back an output.
Okay. From where you give data? તમે ડેટા આપવા માટે કમ્પ્યુટરમાં શેનો ઉપયોગ કરો? Accept yes, anybody can answer it. Yes has already answered.
કીબોર્ડ નો યુઝ કરીએ પેલા ડેટા
યસ તે
કરવા.
ઓલરેડી આન્સર આપી ચૂક્યો તું, તારા સિવાય બીજું કોઈ? ધ્યાની યસ.
Sir, data, we can directly input the data so that computer can work through it, or if it is already stored. the computer. We can allow it to use that
You can allow,
the computer to use that data for which work it
but
is
how you
needed.
input, how you give data to the computer?
Uh, so we can input the data if it's asked us for it.
Okay. It is asked. Now what you will use to input? Om,
Yes, sir.
what you will use to input data?
So we will use the keyboard.
Okay, fine. You will use keyboard to input data to the computer and computer will process and give output. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. From keyboard, if I am pressing A, what will happen?
Uh, so the data that we give to the computer first it will be uh, changed into binary language that can be understood by the computer. Then first it will read the data that we have provided it, and it will again change the data so that we can understand. Yeah.
Who told the
In process.
computer understands binary language?
Sorry, sir.
Computer understands binary language.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Yes, ને ઓમને બેન જ
Yes,
ખબર
sir.
પડે બાકીના. Okay, Solanki, Nemis also says yes. Anybody else? Shanawaz says yes, sir. Saina says yes. Okay, Akshar says yes. Yuvraj says yes. Monali says yes. Okay, so many believe that computer works or understands binary language. What is binary language?
Binary language is basically the use of zero and one.
Wait.
Sorry, sir.
Anybody else? Except yes and no. Can anybody say what is binary language? What is binary language? Be fast. We don't have time. Yes, Apan.
Sir, is a language which use 0 and 1 for the inputs of data.
Okay. It is a language which uses 0 and 1 for
Input of data.
okay, 0 and 1 is a binary language. Yes. Yuvraj says. Sapan says 0 and 1 is okay. Binary language comprises of only two numbers. You mean to say like that? Yuvraj?
Yes, sir.
Okay, binary language comprises of only two digits, that is 0 and 1. And using these numbers, we can give input to the computer, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I press A from keyboard, what will go from a keyboard wire to the CPU? If I press A from keyboard, હું કીબોર્ડમાંથી A પ્રેસ કરું છું તો વાયરમાંથી શું જશે? કીબોર્ડનો વાયર હોય ને,
Binary code for A.
binary code for A. What is this binary code? Okay,
वो
give
जो
me a
0
second.
1 और 1 0 वाला था ना, वो
Okay.
A का मतलब कि A का 1 0 में इंटरप्रेट करके एक वायर थ्रू CPU में जाएगा, फिर हमको स्क्रीन के ऊपर A बताएगा.
Okay. Sorry, you can repeat it again.
वो if we press A, so उसका बाइनरी लैंग्वेज में कोड बन के वायर थ्रू कीबोर्ड अरे सॉरी CPU में जाएगा, फिर हमको स्क्रीन पे A बताएगा.
So if assume that binary code of A is something like this. It is something like this. Assume that this is a binary code for A. So if I press A from keyboard, then this code will go to CPU and this code will be passed via wire which is attached to keyboard, and another end of it connects to CPU. Am I right? આ કોડની વાત કરું છું. આવો કોઈ કોડ છે જે કીબોર્ડમાંથી એ પ્રેસ કરવાથી આવું છે. સપોઝ ધારી લો કે એનો કોડ આવો છે, બી નો કોડ આવો છે 01000010. આવો બી નો કોડ છે. ધારી લો, ખાલી ધારી લો કે આવો કોડ છે. If I press A from keyboard, this code will pass, and if I press B, this code will go to the CPU, and keyboard wire will carry this 01000001 to the CPU. Am I right? Have I understood it correctly? મેં એને વ્યવસ્થિત જોયું છે, સમજો છો તમે જે કહેતા તે? હા કે ના? યસ, સપન,
Yes, sir.
યુવરાજ,
Yes, sir.
બાકીના બધાને સમજાઈ ગયું?
Yes, sir.
ઓકે, તો આ ખોટું છે એવું મને લાગે છે. હું જ્યારે કીબોર્ડમાંથી એ પ્રેસ કરું તો સપોઝ 0100 કેટલા ટાઈમ 0 છે? 5 ટાઈમ 0 છે અને 1 છે. સપોઝ એ પ્રેસ કર્યો અને વાયરમાં ક્યાંક લીક છે વાયર, તો વચ્ચેથી એક 0 નીકળી જાય તો શું જાય? મને એટલે ખોટું લાગે. મને આ કારણથી મને I think that whatever you are saying is wrong. There is something which is missing. You people are right up to certain extent, but there is something missing, and if you can answer my question or clear my doubt, this something will be added to your answer. If I press A, હવે ફરી સાંભળો મારો ડાઉટ શું છે. If I press A from keyboard, this code will pass through the wire of keyboard and it will reach CPU, where CPU will understand that you have pressed A. But in case if there is leak in a wire, then one of the 0 will be removed from this code or will get disturbed, and it will move out of wire and remaining digits will reach CPU and it will understand that you have pressed something else. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Sapan says yes. Does anybody agree with him? Okay, Yuvraj says yes. બે પાંચ મિનિટ બીજી જોઈએ છે વિચારવા માટે. Even Gaurav says yes. Nemish says yes. What about girls? છોકરીઓ આન્સર જ નથી આપતી. નારી સશક્તિકરણ કરવાનું છે, વિમેન એમ્પાવરમેન્ટ. ચાલો ચાલો બોલો જલ્દી. ભગવાને મગજ બધાને એક સરખા આપ્યા જ. સુનિલ, ગૌરવ બધા પાડે, બાકીના ક્યાં ગયા? વિચારવાનું જ છે કે કીબોર્ડમાંથી હું એ પ્રેસ કરું તો ઉપર જે લખ્યો છે કોડ એ જશે. સપોઝ વાયરમાં ક્યાંક ક્રેક છે અથવા લીક છે તો એકાદ 2 0 પડી જાય તો કોઈ આડોવડો કોડ સીપીયુને પહોંચે અને સીપીયુ એને બીજું કંઈક સમજે. સાચું ખોટું? ઓકે, Akshay Prajapati says yes. I need few answers. Okay, Sania. Okay. Keval, Dara, Prijesh, Bhumika. Okay. Do you believe that via keyboard this code will reach CPU? મારો બીજો ક્વેશ્ચન છે, જ્યારે હું કીબોર્ડમાંથી એ પ્રેસ કરું તો પેલો કોડ જશે વાયરમાંથી? No. There you are. Then what will go via wire? તો હવે શું જશે? ના પાડો છો બરાબર છે, પણ શું જશે? Yes. Yes, Dhyani.
Electrical signal that will pass through the keyboard will first go to the CPU, and then it will be converted to the other code that it will remember in a particular way. According to me, I think one means switch on and zero means switch off. So it will see where, like, if the current is according to one, then it will count it as one. Like this, the code will be made in the CPU and it will understand the signal.
Perfect. હવે વાયર થ્રુ શું જાય? ઇલેક્ટ્રિક કરંટ જાય, બીજું કંઈ જાય નહીં. તો જ્યારે તમે એ પ્રેસ કરો છો ત્યારે કરંટ જાય છે. Current will be in form of 0 and 1 if signal is high, or we know that within electric current we have got direct current and alternate current. In direct current as well as in alternate current we have got troughs and tides, or high and low signals are there. If it is high, then it is considered as 1. If it is low, then it is considered as 0. Even on hard disk or even on your CD drive or on pen drive, data is stored in form of 0 and 1 only, or in form of signals. Signal patterns are there, that if this kind of pattern is there, then it is high. If this kind of pattern is there, or if there is a simple line, then it is a 0. So in this way, data is stored on your devices, as well as it is passed from one device to another device. So we can say that when we give input to the computer, electric current in form of some codes is passed to the CPU, and that kind of code is understood by computer. So computer understands what?
Electrical signal.
It needs electric signals, it understands electric signals, but those electric signals are in form of certain patterns, and those patterns are nothing but representation of 0 and 1 only. Computer works on electricity. Computer ચાલે છે નથી? ઇલેક્ટ્રિસિટી. એને ખાવાનું ન મળે, ઇલેક્ટ્રિસિટી ન મળે તો ચાલી ન શકે. બધા હા પાડશે ને આના માટે? તો એટલે ડેટા પણ હંમેશા કયા ફોર્મમાં હશે? 0 ને 1 ના ફોર્મમાં હશે. એટલું ખાસ યાદ રાખજો. આગળ ડેટા ઉપર તો ઘણું બધું ચાલે છે, પણ ડેટા હંમેશા કયા ફોર્મમાં હશે? 0 ને 1 ના ફોર્મમાં. Now this 0 and 1 which is understood by computer, or the signals which are understood by computer, are in only two different forms, that is 0 and 1. This 0 and 1 will allow us to understand computer. You told correctly that computer understands the binary language, but binary language has got only two numbers. Which language do you understand? You understand English, Gujarati, Hindi, you may be understanding Marathi, Bengali. So we have got so many letters in it, and we have got so many words, and there is a dialect also which creates a different meaning of it. There is a different tone. There are different tones which creates a different meaning for same word. તો પેલું આપણે મૂવી જોયું છે પીકે બધાએ, આમિર ખાનનું. બીજા કોઈ ગ્રહ ઉપરથી આવે છે, એલિયન જેવો હોય છે. જોયું છે બધાએ? તો એની અંદર અચ્છા 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 ઘણી બધી અલગ રીતે બોલીને બતાવે કે આનું મિનિંગ અલગ થયો. શું વાત છે? 9:50 લોકો એડ થાય. સો આવો નીતિન, કેવું મજામાં? હે હમણાં ઉઠ્યો શું બકા? તારું માઇક ઓફ છે. તો શું બોલે સંભળાતું નથી? મજામાં ને નીતિન? શું જવાબ આપો? ગૂંચવાઈ ગયો? હું પણ તમારા જેવું કરો તો ચાલે ને? 10 વાગે લેક્ચર ચાલુ કરું તો? ઓકે, ફરી નેક્સ્ટ ટાઈમ ધ્યાન રાખજો, બાકીના બધાય કે તમે ટાઈમે જોઈન થાઓ તો તમને કંઈક વધારે જાણવા મળશે. Computer understands 0 and 1. We know that whatever we give input to the computer is converted into form of 0 and 1 signals and it is sent to the computer. Then only it can understand it. Our languages are very fuzzy. If I say 2, then it has got so many meanings. T-O, T-W-O or T-O-O. Same pronunciation but different meanings. If TO2 is 2, then GO is something else. DO is again do. What I mean to say is that our languages are very fuzzy and ambiguous, which has got so many meanings, which is difficult to understand. And computer cannot understand those things because it doesn't have any common sense. So computer languages must be very precise. It should be very precise, and so only we are using 0 and 1 to represent our data or give data to the computer. They have relatively few exactly defined rules or for composition of programs and strictly controlled vocabularies in which unknown words must be defined before they can be used. So this is the basic of computer language, that computer language that have got each and every computer language which is existing today in programming world has got a fixed set of words. Fixed set of words. Those words are understood by computer. Not directly, but indirectly we can make it understand to the computer. It has got only few words. If we want to learn Gujarati or English, it has got a big set of vocabulary, or so many words are there. We need to learn all those words, and then we can understand what a person is saying or is talking about. But to understand computer languages, we have got only few words, so which is easy to learn. I am asking a question to you people, that which language is easy to learn? A language which has got a very big set of words or very big vocabulary and which is ambiguous and fuzzy. And on another side we have got a set of computer languages which has got a fixed set of words and it is strictly having certain rules which we are supposed to follow. If we understand those few rules, then we can easily program it. So which one is easy? Natural language or computer language? Which is easy to learn? અને આ વખતે હું જે કહીશ ને એ લોકો આન્સર આપશે. પટેલ ઇન્દ્રા, શું સારું લાગશે? ઇન્દ્રા છે?
Yes, sir.
હા, તો શું સારું લાગે? ગુજરાતી શીખવું સહેલું લાગે, કોઈને શીખવાડવું સહેલું લાગે કે કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ શીખવાડવું સહેલું લાગે?
Gujarati language.
ઓકે, સરસ. મિત, તારે ઇન્દ્રા તારે શીખવાડવાની છો કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ કે પેલી ગુજરાતી લેંગ્વેજ કે ઇંગ્લિશ લેંગ્વેજ? અચ્છા ચાલો મરાઠી. તને મરાઠી આવડે છે?
ના સર.
નથી આવડતી ને? હવે તારે મરાઠી શીખવાની છે અને એક સાઈડ કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ શીખવાની. કઈ તારે સહેલી લાગશે?
Computer language.
કેમ?
સર કારણ કે એની અંદર બાયનરી લેંગ્વેજ આવે ને એની અંદર 0 અને 1 બે જ વર્ડ આવે એટલે.
સરસ. એક બીજો ક્વેશ્ચન છે તો તરત થોડું આવો કોઈ કોડ છે આ શેના માટેનો કોડ છે?
સર એ તો ખબર નહીં.
તો તે કીધું ને સહેલું છે, કહી દે બે જ છે કેરેક્ટર
એટલે સર એ તો પછી ભણ્યા પછી આવડે ને સર.
એમ. ઓકે ફાઇન, ચલો તું ભણે પછી તને આવડશે. સરસ. પણ શીખવી તને સહેલી કોમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ લાગશે કારણ શું કીધું તે?
મરાઠી લેંગ્વેજમાં તો સર બધું કેટલું બધું શીખવું પડે અને આમાં સર ઓછું શીખવું પડે એમ.
કેમ ઓછું શીખવું પડે? કેમ ઓછું કે છે તું?
મરાઠી લેંગ્વેજ તો સર કદી જોઈ પણ નથી, કઈ રીતનું આવે કઈ ખબર નથી. ને આમાં સર એટલી તો ખબર છે ને કે બાયનરી લેંગ્વેજ આવે એમાં 0 હોય 1 હોય.
ઓકે, તારો આન્સર બરાબર નથી પણ કંઈક સાચો છે. ચલો પૂજા, તને કઈ લેંગ્વેજ ગમશે? મરાઠી કે કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ? પૂજા ગોહિલ.
કોમ્પ્યુટર.
કેમ?
મરાઠી લેંગ્વેજ ક્યારે બી નહીં જોઈ અને હું ગુજરાતી છું, તો કોમ્પ્યુટરમાં કઈ શીખ્યા પણ હોય અત્યાર સુધી.
તો તું ક્યાં કોમ્પ્યુટર છે? તું તો ગુજરાતી છે. તો કોમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ તારા માટે કેમ સહેલી?
કોમ્પ્યુટરમાંથી કોમ્પ્યુટર જ શીખી છે.
શું કહે છે?
મરાઠી અને કોમ્પ્યુટર બંનેમાંથી કોમ્પ્યુટર સહેલી લાગી શીખી.
ઓકે ફાઇન, ચાલ આપણે જવા દઈએ. રોશની,
યસ સર.
કઈ લેંગ્વેજ સહેલી લાગશે, મરાઠી કે કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ?
કોમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ સર.
કેમ?
સર એમાં બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ 0 ને 1 આમ.
ઓકે, બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ આવે 0 ને 1. તમને લોકોને બાઇનરી આવડે છે એમ ને? સરસ. ભૂમિકા,
યસ સર.
કઈ લેંગ્વેજ સારી આવશે શીખવામાં?
કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ.
કેમ?
બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ યુઝ થાય એમાં એટલે.
એટલે બોલ, મને તો ખબર જ નહીં બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ યુઝ થાય. તને બાઇનરી આવડે?
એમાં 2 જ કેરેક્ટર હોય ને, 0 and 1.
હા, એટલે શાંતિ, બીજી જફાત નહીં. ઓકે, સરસ. ઉન્નતિ,
સર કોમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ.
કેમ?
સર કોમ્પ્યુટરમાં બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ આવે એ તો કોમન જ રહે અને મરાઠીમાં એ આમ પ્રદેશ પ્રમાણે બદલાતી રહે, તો આઈ થિંક કોમ્પ્યુટર શીખવી સહેલી પડે.
ઓકે, પ્રદેશ પ્રમાણે બદલાતી રહે એટલે સહેલી રહે. તો પ્રદેશ પ્રમાણે બદલાય તો શું ફરક પડે?
આમ એકદમ ના ખબર પડે આપણને કયા વર્ડ છે એમ, અને બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ તો કોમન જ રહે ને, થોડી ના બદલાય.
બાઇનરી તો કોમન જ રહે. હા, એ વાત ખરી. એટલે એની અંદર શબ્દો હશે બધા ફિક્સ હશે, એવું તારું કેવું છે?
એટલે આમ બધા માટે તો આમ સેમ જ હશે ને?
હા, સેમ જ હશે એવું આશા રાખીએ આપણે.
હા.
ઓકે, વીણા, વીણા બામણિયા છે કે ગુમ? વીણા ગુમ લાગે છે. ઓકે, નેટવર્ક નો ઇશ્યુ હશે એવું માની લઈએ. મુકુંદ,
સર મરાઠી.
કેમ? તું મરાઠી છે?
હા, બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ શીખી તો લઈએ પણ કોકે કોડ આપ્યો હોય આપણને તો ઈ પાછો એનો ટ્રાન્સલેટ કરીને આપણી ભાષામાં સમજવાનું, એ બધું મુશ્કેલ ન થઈ જાય?
એ વાત તો તારી સાચી યાર. આપણને આમ તો કોડ તો ખબર પડતા નથી કે. પણ કોમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજમાં તો આપણે જોયું કે તો કેવું છે, મસ્ટ બી વેરી પ્રિસાઇઝ છે. Relatively few exactly defined rules for composition of programs and strictly controlled vocabularies. એની vocabulary એકદમ ફિક્સ છે. અને સપોઝ તમે કોઈ બહારનો શબ્દ વાપરો તો તમારે એને પહેલા કેવું પડે કે આ શબ્દ હું વાપરીશ. બોલો વ્યાસજી, તમને કઈ લેંગ્વેજ ગમશે? મુકુંદ, કઈ લેંગ્વેજ ગમશે? હજી મરાઠી જ શીખીશ? ઓકે, હવે હું આન્સર આપું, તું નહીં આપી શકે. કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ ની અંદર યુ હેવ ગોટ અ ફિક્સ સેટ ઓફ વર્ડ્સ. મેં પહેલા પણ કીધું કે એની અંદર વર્ડ્સ કેટલા હશે? ફિક્સ હશે. 15, 20, 25, 30, 60 મેક્સિમમ. એનાથી વધારે કોઈ વર્ડ હશે નહીં. જ્યારે ગુજરાતી, ઇંગ્લિશ, મરાઠીમાં તો કેટલા બધા શબ્દો હશે, કેટલા યાદ રાખવા પડે, એના મિનિંગ યાદ રાખવા પડે. પાછું પેલી કીધું રિજિયન પ્રમાણે પાછા શબ્દો બદલાય, તો એ યાદ રાખવાના. તો એ શીખવી અઘરી થઈ જાય. જ્યારે અહીંયા શબ્દો કેટલા હશે? ફિક્સ હશે. They have relatively few exactly defined rules for composition of program. એના રૂલ્સ કેવા છે? ફિક્સ છે અને બહુ ઓછા છે. એ રૂલ્સ આપણે ફોલો કરીએ અને આ શબ્દ ક્યાં વાપરવો એ ખાલી સમજી લઈએ તો આપણે કોઈ પણ પ્રોગ્રામ લખી શકીએ. તમારા બધાનું કેવું બરાબર તો કોમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ બાઇનરી પર ચાલે છે, પણ વી ડોન્ટ યુઝ બાઇનરી ફોર રાઇટિંગ પ્રોગ્રામ્સ. આપણે બાઇનરી લેંગ્વેજ ક્યારે યુઝ નથી કરતા? કરીએ છીએ. ઇફ આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ ટાઈપ અ લેટર or draft a letter, what I will do? I will type letter in Word, which is also a program. સેવ કરવા માટે પણ મારે કમાન્ડ આપવાનો છે, તો હું સેવ બટન પર ખાલી ક્લિક કરું છું. ઇટ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો કમાન્ડ ટુ ધ કમ્પ્યુટર. પણ એના માટે આપણે કંઈ બીજી કોઈ લેંગ્વેજ યુઝ નથી કરતા. વી આર યુઝિંગ વિચ લેંગ્વેજ? સેવ ઇઝ અ કમાન્ડ, ઓપન ઇઝ અ કમાન્ડ, copy, cut, paste are commands. Same way we have got certain commands to write a document or letter or any kind of document we can say. તો કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ શીખવી કેમ સહેલી થઈ જાય? Because it has got only few rules for writing programs and a fixed set of vocabulary, fixed set of words which you need to understand. And if you are going to use a word which is not understood by or not available in a computer language, then you should define it. You should define before using it. Understood? This is why we can say that computer languages are easy to learn, understand and write programs. Computer languages are languages by which, what are computer languages? This is definition of computer language. I hope this is understood why we are using computer languages or why computer languages are easy to understand. આટલા બધી ખ્યાલ આવી ગયો તમને લોકોને કે કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજ કેમ સહેલી છે ભણવી અથવા યાદ રાખવી? કારણ કે એની અંદર શબ્દો લિમિટેડ છે, ફિક્સ છે અને લેટર કોઈને લખવાનો હોય એનો કોઈ રૂલ્સ નથી, પણ પ્રોગ્રામ લખવાનો તેના ફિક્સ રૂલ્સ છે. એ રૂલ્સ ફોલો કરવા જ પડે. જો ફોલો ન કરો તો ન ચાલે. રૂલ્સ જેવા કે આપણે લેટર લખતા હોય તો દરેક સેન્ટેન્સ પૂરું થાય પછી ફૂલ સ્ટોપ મૂકીએ, પહેલો લેટર કેપિટલ હોય. આવું દરેક ભાષામાં છે ને આવું? હા કે ના? આ જે રૂલ કીધો ફૂલ સ્ટોપ આવે, પૂર્ણ વિરામ અને પહેલો લેટર હંમેશા કેપિટલ હોય, મોટો હોય બાકીના બધા કરતા. જો પેરેગ્રાફ હોય તો તમે આમ સ્પેસ આપીને લખો, થોડી સ્પેસ ખસેડીને લખો. હા કે ના? આઈ એમ ટોકિંગ અબાઉટ ધીસ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ રૂલ્સ. તો આ રૂલ્સ તમે કોઈ લેંગ્વેજ માટે યુઝ કરો છો, કોઈ ડોક્યુમેન્ટ બનાવવા માટે. સેમ વે વી હેવ ગોટ સર્ટન રૂલ્સ ફોર રાઇટિંગ પ્રોગ્રામ્સ. પ્રોગ્રામ્સ લખવા માટે મારે અમુક રૂલ્સની જરૂર પડે અને એ મારે ફોલો જ કરવા પડે. તો ખાલી થોડા રૂલ્સ અને થોડા શબ્દ આટલા જો આપણને ખબર પડી જાય તો આપણે પ્રોગ્રામ ઇઝીલી લખી શકીએ. સો ઇટ ઇઝ વેરી ઇઝી ટુ રાઇટ computer program and to understand a computer language or learn a computer language. Now, what is computer language? Are languages by which user commands the computer to work on the algorithm which a user has written to get an output. Now it says that you are writing commands or you are giving command to the computer to work on an algorithm, and give or get a desired output, from the computer. તો આ કામ કરવું હોય, કમ્પ્યુટર પાસે કંઈ કામ કરવા હોય તેને શું આપવું પડે? કમાન્ડ આપવા પડે. કમાન્ડ આપીને તમે જે અલ્ગોરિધમ લખ્યો છે એ પ્રમાણે તમે કમાન્ડ આપો તો એ તમને જે આઉટપુટ જોઈએ છે આપશે. And now here we are talking about algorithm. We'll come back to this point. Computer language is a set of predefined words that are combined into a program according to the predefined rules syntax. Over the years, computer language have evolved from machine language to high level language. We'll keep this sentence aside. We come back to this. It is again same thing. It has got some predefined rules. It is known as syntax, and it has got some predefined words with the help of which we can write computer program. So again, this is also a definition, this much part, as well as this is also a definition of computer language. Coming back to this first definition, we had talked about something about algorithm again. Now what we say, we give command to the computer to work on an algorithm. Whenever we write a program, we always follow the steps which are written in an algorithm. We never give algorithm as an input to the computer. Our algorithm cannot be executed on computer directly. We need to write program for that particular algorithm and then we can run on it. So algorithm is nothing but representation of a logic. What is algorithm? It is representation of a logic. By following that logic, we can write program in any language. આ એક માળખું છે, જનરલ માળખું છે algorithm, જેની અંદર જે પણ કંઈ લખ્યું છે એ પ્રમાણે જો કોઈ કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજમાં લખવામાં આવે તો આપણને જે આઉટપુટ આપે છે એ પ્રમાણેનું આઉટપુટ આપણને મળે. અલ્ગોરિધમમાં જે મળતું હોય આઉટપુટ એ પ્રમાણેનું આઉટપુટ આપણને મળે. સમજાઈ ગયું? આ વોટ ઇઝ algorithm? Simple definition of algorithm is that it is a set of ordered steps for solving any problem. But what it is actually? It is a representation of a logic. Using that logic, we can write program in any computer language. Using that logic, we can write program in any computer language. I hope why we need computer languages is clear to you for writing programs and what is algorithm actually. So algorithm and a flowchart are nothing but representation of a logic. Using that logical steps, we can write program in any computer language, and computer language has got some set of predefined words as well as a set of rules which are known as syntax, which we should follow for writing programs, which will follow steps written in an algorithm. Now we move on to our next point, that is machine level language and high level language. So it is nothing but types of computer languages. We have got two categories, or it is classified at initial stage into two categories, that is low level language and high level language. Within low level language, we have got certain generations. And why it is known as low level language? Because we are not able to understand it. These low level languages are very hard to memorize, very hard to understand, so it is known as low level language for human beings. So these two categories are defined or categorized based on understanding of human beings. When we say low level language, it is very tough for us to understand, and when we say high level language, that means it is very easy for us to understand. Second benefit of using, or second difference, is that low level languages are easily understood by computer. So when we write program in low level language, execution is faster compared to high level languages. We proceed further in our notes to understand these two topics, but these two are basic difference for this two types of languages. Low level programming language is the programming language that provides little or no abstraction from computer instruction set architecture. It means that it is written in the same way in which computer understand. It consists of numeric codes, that is 0 and 1. If you write your program in form of 0 and 1, then it is known as a low level program, or a program which is written in a low level programming language. It is known as machine level language. These codes are easily understandable to the computer but difficult for human to understand it. A lower level language is used in two generations of computer. First generation represents each and every character in form of 0 and 1, and this representation is directly understood by computer. The actual language that computer understands is a machine level language, and it is considered as a first generation language. In next generation we have got assembly language, which has got a few words in it, So instead of writing whole program in form of 0 and 1, we are using those words, and those words are known as mnemonics. Allow the use of symbolic names instead of just numbers. So instead of numbers we are using certain words. This is a second generation language known as assembly language. Code written in an assembly language is converted into machine language. So here we need conversion. If I am using some words instead of 0 and 1, then I need to convert those words into 0 and 1 first of all, and then computer can execute it. If I am giving a command add A and B, something like add A and B, then computer, what we initially need to do is, or what should be our first step? First of all, convert this add A comma B into machine level language, that is 0 and 1, and then only it can understand it. So code written in assembly language is first converted into machine level language, and for this we require an assembler. The program which will convert this assembly language program into machine level language is known as assembler. Do you remember it? યાદ રહી જશે બધાને? ખબર નહીં, બધા ગુમ થઈ ગયા લાગે છે ને? બધા કનેક્ટેડ છે ને આની સાથે?
યસ સર.
Yes, sir.
ઓકે, તો આપણે જઈએ આગળનો આન્સર ના આવ્યો એટલે આપણે આગળ જઈએ. તમે લોકો હાજર છો, અમુક પ્રેઝન્ટ છે. કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક્સ ઓફ લો લેંગ્વેજીસ આર direct memory management, little to no abstraction from hardware. It is directly representing, or you are giving commands directly which is understood by computer, and you are representing each and every device which is connected to computer in form of 0 and 1. So you are giving exact address of devices also. You can access registers which are on board of your motherboard or CPU. Statements usually have an obvious correspondence with the clock cycles. We are directly executing instructions which are directly we can say that interpreted and executed without any kind of conversion, and so our instruction execution is measured in terms of clock cycles, and performance is superb in case of low level languages. Advantage: computational speed is very fast, we get very fast results. They're directly understood by computer. What are disadvantages? Development of a program in machine level language is very time consuming. Error detection is a tedious process. These are two main drawbacks of low level languages, where we need to understand each and every line or each and every character which is in form of 0 and 1. You know that before keyboard came into the market as an input device, we had some another instruments also to give input to the computer. and those devices were known as punch cards. These punch cards were basically used to give input to the computer, or first generation computers we can say, and in that we were punching in a form which represents 0 and 1. કીબોર્ડ આયા પહેલા આપણી પાસે પંચ કાર્ડ હતા અને પંચ કાર્ડથી આપણે શું આપતા હતા ઇનપુટ તરીકે 0 ને 1 આપતા હતા કે કાણું હોય તો 1, કાણું ન હોય તો 0. આવ્યો ખ્યાલ બધાને?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next category is high level language, which is easily understood by human beings, because in this high level languages we use English kind of words or English words, very few words, but still it is English language. High level language allows specification of a problem solution in terms closer to those used by human beings. These languages were designed to make programming far easier, less error prone, and to remove the programmer from having to know the details of internal structure of a particular computer. Now here, in case of low level languages, we can directly access registers. So you should know how many registers are there on board or on CPU, where they are actually. So we need exact specification that I'm going to access this device and its location is here on CPU or on motherboard. Whereas in case of high level language, we don't need to remember all these things. We simply give instructions to the computer in an English like language, which is more easy for human beings to understand. These languages were designed to make programming far easier so that people can understand it easily and less error prone. If they can understand it easily, they will make very less errors. And to remove programmer from having to know the details of internal structure of a particular computer. Now I don't need to remember what kind of processor I have got on board and how many registers are there on a CPU. CPU ની અંદર કેટલા રજિસ્ટર છે એ મારે જાણવાની જરૂર નથી. કયું CPU છે મારે જાણવાની જરૂર નથી. હું જ્યારે પ્રોગ્રામ લખીશ ત્યારે હું ક્યારેય ચેક નહીં કરું whether it is i3 or i5 or i7 or of which generation it is. How many registers are there એવું મારે ક્યારેય ધ્યાનમાં રાખવાની જરૂર નથી. હું સીધી ઇન્સ્ટ્રક્શન્સ લખીશ અને કમ્પ્યુટર કન્વર્ટ કરીને એની જાતે રન કરી આપશે મને. But in case of low level languages, we need to know all these things and then only we can write programs. Within high level language, we have got further bifurcations, that is third generation language. We'll stop over here in third generation language. There are few more generations. There is fourth generation, there is fifth generation available. We can find different generation of languages or this bifurcation of high level languages on Wikipedia, and which languages are available on in which generation, or which languages are categorized as which generation. We can easily go through that list. It is very big list. So instead of going through all those things, we'll limit ourselves in our course to this third generation only. And in this third generation, we have got words and commands instead of symbols and numbers. Has got a syntax that make it easier to understand, means it has got certain grammar. Syntax is nothing but a grammar of language. વ્યાકરણ આપણે કહીએ ને તો કમ્પ્યુટર લેંગ્વેજમાં વ્યાકરણ નહીં કહેવાય, ગ્રામર નહીં કહેવાય, એને કહીશું આપણે સિન્ટેક્સ કહીશું. The third generation languages are known as high level languages and include C, C++, Java and JavaScript and many more. We'll stop here in this unit. From tomorrow onwards we'll start second unit. At present there are 31 or 28 students. 28 to 29 are there. And how many are there actually I don't know. But from tomorrow onwards I expect that you contact your colleagues and ask them to remain online, because this unit was very basic, but from this we are actually starting C programming. So if they will remain present, they will understand it very easily, or it will serve their purpose of joining this course. પ્રોગ્રામિંગ શીખવા માટે તમે લોકોએ આ કોર્સ શીખ્યા જોઈન કર્યો હોય તો તમારું કામ પાર પડશે તો તમે શીખી શકશો. નહીં તો પહેલો જ એકડો નહીં આવડે અથવા કક્કો બારકડી ના આવડે તો આગળ કંઈ આવડે નહીં આપણને. એટલે મહેરબાની કરીને તમે જેને ઓળખતા હોય કે આ લોકો છે એને જોઈન નથી થતા એને કહેજો કે જોઈન થાય. ઓકે, કોઈ ડાઉટ છે ત્યાં સુધીમાં?